December 2023. We have our second witness, Mr. David Luiz. Welcome and thank you for attending. My name is Justice Nicholas Shapiri.
I'm Biwoko.
I am Dora Sat.
Our secretary is Samuel Cesar. Samuel, could you let the witness take an oath?
Please stand. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I swear by Almighty God that the evidence I shall give to this commission shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God. You may be seated.
Mr. Luiz, are you comfortable giving evidence in English?
Sure.
You prefer Creole? Thank you. For the record, could you state your full names?
Monsieur, est-ce que vous êtes capable de dire un nom en entier?
David Luiz.
And your rank?
Et qui au rang?
Constable.
Constable.
And where are you currently working? Which division? Potru. How long have you served as a police officer?
That's 18 years.
Just repeat that.
18 years.
18 years? And for how long have you been attached to Potru?
18 years.
18 years, the same period. Could you tell the Commission what are the general functions of Potru? What does Potru do?
Est-ce que vous êtes capable de dire avec la commission qui normalement bon travail que pour chose autre faire?
Tu fais de qualité, patrol, escort, bonne affaire.
We do all manners of work, including patrol and escort.
And general duties. So general duties and general duties.
As well as general duties and office duties.
And what were your duties specifically?
Qui tu bon travail spécifique qui ou tu fais comme les officiers?
Tu fais de qualité.
I did all types of duties.
Can you describe some of them? What
Capable
have you
d'écrire
over the
certains?
18 years?
Pendant ces 18 ans qu'on travaille, expliquez un petit peu bon travail qu'il fait.
Patrol, fixe point, travail avec la case VIP.
Cause un peu fort, monsieur? Cause un peu fort, bah.
Tu travailles bonne affaire escort, patrol, pour la case VIP.
Okay, I did escort duties, also patrol, as well as working at as VIP escort as well.
And when you say escort duties, what do you mean?
Et quand on dit vous faites bon travail escort, quoi exactement qu'il fait?
Bon escort, quand on a bon pilot, tu as bon escort laser, bon escort explosive, bon l'autre, tout bon escort qui vient avec.
We did all types of duties that involves escort. That means escorting people that are carrying money, as well as other things that has to do with escort.
And during your service at Potru, were you ever assigned to do any works at Cccl?
Pendant ton travail côté Potru, est-ce que tu as déjà donné un travail pour faire en ce qui concerne escort pour Cccl?
Yeah.
Yes.
And what was the nature of your duties when you went to Cccl premises at Providence?
Et qui t'y a-t-il bon travail, les temps tu allais pour faire bon travail côté Cccl Providence?
CCL, normalement, no escort, bon blaster, tu vas la main, pour inquiry.
At Cccl, we normally escorted the blasters whenever they were going to do blasting works.
So could you tell us exactly from the beginning what you did?
Ok, explique-nous depuis le commencement qui m'a fait ça et qui le temps pour faire ça escort.
From when you left the office?
Depuis que tu commences quitter l'office pour aller là-bas.
Well, normalement, blaster, il vient, il fait procédure pour le gagner un carte pour escort d'autres.
Normally, the blaster would come and we will do the procedures for us to get an officer to escort them.
On fait une procédure papier, bonne affaire.
We do all the paperwork.
Après, finalement, on gagne la clé.
And finally, I would get a key.
Après, nous procédons là-bas, coup de conteneur.
And we proceeded to the container. Après?
Là-bas, il y a un monde qui en charge, il y a la clé.
And at the container, there is someone there who's also in charge, and they also have the key
Pour détaquer conteneur.
for them to unlock the container for the blaster.
Yes. And then?
Après ça,
And then, they fait procédure, ils prennent tout l'équipement.
and then they
On
do
the
their
side.
procedures, and they take their equipments for them to go on site.
So what role did he play during that process?
Et qui ou rôle commence à officier on jouer pendant que ça va procédure tu peux gagner faire.
Non, mais nous, là, nous connaissons observer. Bon, que ce que je peux. Bon.
We are there to escort as well as to observe the things that they were taking and doing.
Is there anything else?
You know, quel est autre quelque chose qui on fait?
Dis que nous escortons, assister les autres, dis que le side. Tu as fini de faire le blasting, tu as fait.
We assist them and escort them until when they reach the site, when they finish the blasting and everything is done.
So how was an officer assigned to go to CCCL? Was it any officer that was on duty?
Anyone, yeah.
And was there any minimum training qualification
No.
required to go and do that duty?
No.
And so do you know what is the relationship between Potru and CCCL? What is the connection?
Est-ce que vous connaissez qui relation et connexion entre Potru avec CCCL?
Non, pas connaître.
No,
No,
I would
I
not
don't.
know.
And when does he know when that began, the arrangement between Potru and CCCL? Do you know which year that began?
Est-ce que
No.
vous connaissez quand que ça
No, vous
l'arrangement gagne faire? No, I wouldn't know.
Okay. When did he start? When did you start going to CCCL premises? In what year?
Et puis les temps, là, escorter les autres. Donc, pas imaginer, pas recall.
I cannot recall.
And for what period? For how long had you been going there before the explosion?
Pour combien de temps on a allé pour faire ça l'ouvrage avant l'explosion?
Mon quoi, depuis l'explosion, mon quoi, dernière fois, mon allé. Et puis l'état, pour la dernière fois.
I think it was before the explosion would be the last time that I went there.
But for what period? For how long had he been going there prior to the explosion?
Pour combien de temps, monsieur? Comme si depuis là,
1
on
month.
entend le travail, pour quand c'est le temps on a allé, pour combien de temps on a allé pour aller là-bas pour faire ce travail?
En temps en temps,
Combien à peu près numéro en quantité?
1 year, 2 years, 3 years?
1 an, 2 ans, 3 ans, à peu près combien d'années on peut faire ça l'ouvrage?
quand c'est là, des fois, de toi, mais pas tout le temps qu'il nous allé. Et les différents jours.
Maybe 3 mois?
Maybe.
Maybe 3 months, because it was not all the time that I was going. Sometimes it would be different people.
Does Potru maintain any records or logs to show which officer goes to CCCL?
Est-ce qu'il peut chose autant là que vous écrit lesquels bons officiers qui gagnent envoyé pour CCCL?
Non, normalement, il y a un livre qui est templé dans escort.
There is a book that they normally fill in whenever someone is going to be released for escort.
Okay, and those records still exist? We're able to access them?
Ça ban record, code ça gagne fait entrer de ça ban livre est-ce qu'il encore existe? Est-ce qu'il nous capable gagner ça ban record?
Pas tout cas, je fais des sécurités.
We can look for it.
So, on the occasions that you attended at the CCCL site, what did you, firstly, did you have access to the containers?
Yes.
You did? And what did you observe when you went there at the containers?
Quelque chose normal. Everything okay.
Can you give the commission an idea of what it looked like? What did the premise look like?
Explique-nous un petit peu comment il là doit même y était là-bas, comment il était. C'est en était.
On doit coûter container, il barré, fencing partout.
The place where the containers were, it was fenced,
And yes, and
Il y a une caméra partout.
and there were cameras everywhere.
on the fence or on the containers?
Ça ben caméra tilo fence ou soit ti en l'air par la container.
L'offense.
on the fence.
And how many containers?
Quantité
Four.
container kiana?
For what color were the containers?
Ki couleur ti était sa ban container?
Silver, I think. Pas imagine, so cool.
I don't remember the colors.
Color. And were the containers just on the ground,
Sa ban container ti
Yeah,
di sa
yeah,
terre?
just
Yes.
just directly on the ground?
Iti directement à terre.
Quelque chose qui met un bloc sur il met l'eau là, il met l'eau là. Et un bloc qui met l'eau là, conteneur posé l'eau là.
The containers were placed on something that looked like bricks.
Okay. A flat surface?
Un surface qui plate.
Mais pareil, bloqué dans une terre.
It was like bricks that had a little height.
Right. Okay. Anything else you can observe? The container doors. Can you tell us? Just give us an idea of what it looked like.
Explique-moi un petit peu comment sa ban container ti était. Par exemple, on peut regarder son apport, ben détail un petit peu comment il était.
Conteneur normal, parce que quand tu places bon explosif, il y a une tablette, bonne affaire.
The containers look normal, and where they placed the explosives, they were placed on shelves.
So you went into the container?
Vous
Yeah,
avez
so
été
with
dans the container?
Et on déboude auto quelque chose là.
When you are standing outside, you can see everything that's on the inside.
Inside. And so how many containers did they open when you used to go there?
Tout.
2. And what was in each container?
Qui tient dans sac
Il y a bonne affaire explosif, je ne sais pas qu'on tout.
There were things related to explosives, but I do not know their names.
Okay. Was he involved in recording what was taken out? Were you involved in recording what was taken out of the containers?
Est-ce qu'il
Non.
t'y impliqué par un petit monde qui pour recorder ben quelque chose qui gagne retiré de sa ban container?
Non, normalement, je ne pas payer que autres. Je
Normally-
fais entrer tout quelque chose.
They had their papers with them, and they would write down everything.
Okay. So what was your role?
Je suis observé, bonne question que je ne peux pas.
I was there just to observe everything that they were taking.
Okay, but how would you know what they're taking if you?
Qui m'a pour connaître quoi qu'ils ont payé pour?
Non, normalement, les temps je ne peux pas, je peux dire qui qualité que je ne peux pas. Les temps je peux noter puis compter bonnes affaires.
Normally, when they are taking it out, they would tell you what it is that they are taking out as they are counting as well.
Okay. And what did the inside of the container look like?
Qui m'a en dans de sa container ti était?
And la conteneur, c'est par exemple, il y a bouffé, il y a une tablette, bonne shelf.
Inside the containers, it's insulated and it has shelves where things are kept on the shelves.
Insulated with what?
Il y a bouffé avec quoi?
Plywood.
Plywood.
Plywood. And were there any lights in the container?
C'est dans la lumière de sa ban container?
Il y en a, il y a.
Yes, there were lights.
Inside?
On the ladder? I think so, I can't remember.
You can't remember. That's fine. Were there any windows in the
C'est dans la
container?
fenêtre?
Non,
Any vents?
il y en a un ventilateur.
There were ventilators.
Ventilators? What size? What sort of size?
Qui gros c'est?
Bon petit carré.
Small square
Yes, yes.
size.
Can you give an estimation in centimeters?
Vous
Or
capable de dire à peu près en centimètres qui gros c'est, qui grandeur?
Pas tout cas dire.
like a ruler is typically 30 centimeters. You know the rulers.
Par exemple, un arrêt, il y a un arrêt qui est 30 cm.
À peu près carré.
Approximately around that size.
The
Square.
size, square, the size of a ruler.
Yeah, à peu près.
Yes.
So you said you went with the key to open,
Yes.
right? And you only had a key for one container.
Et tu n'as que les positions
Non,
Or
container.
more.
Pour both containers, for two containers.
So you had the key for two
Two
containers.
containers,
And how many locks were on those containers? Each container.
Two padlock.
So
Two padlock on each container.
two padlocks on each container. So the two containers that you had the keys for, there were two padlocks. Who had the other key?
C'est un cassage. C'est un cassage à container là.
The one,
Mais
it
moi
was,
aussi.
it was the person who was in charge of the container.
And who was that?
Leke Sajima.
Un Mauricien, pas comme son nom.
He was a Mauritian guy. I do not know his name.
Okay. And the Mauritian guy was in charge of those containers?
Pourquoi? À cause de qui ouvert.
I believe so because he was the one who opened them.
Okay. And what did he do on the days that you went there?
Qui t'y fait pour le banzo qu'il était en tient là-bas.
Si j'ai ouvert container après j'ai assisté blaster pour un équipement.
He only opened the containers and then he assisted the blasters for them to remove and retrieve everything they needed from the containers.
So who all went into the containers?
Lesquels tout bandi moun qui t'y entré de sa container.
Just blaster que ça ça dit mon.
It was only the blaster and the person in charge of the key.
Okay. Does he know who the blaster was?
Vous connaissez lesquels ça monsieur qui t'y l'amine?
Je connais son papier recall son.
I know him, but right now I cannot recall his name.
His Seychellois?
Yes,
Cccl, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And you said you did not go into the containers, right? No. You could just see what was in the container
Yes.
from outside. And then they took the explosives they needed, they put them in the vehicle,
Yes.
and went to the blasting site.
That's right.
And you went along with them?
Yes.
Yes? And what happened from there? When you reached the blasting site?
Il m'a assisté, je fais de bonnes affaires.
I assisted them while they are doing their work.
So when you say you assisted them doing their work, what do you mean? What was your role specifically?
Just observe.
Just to observe them.
They work.
Just observing them doing their work.
So what did you observe on the days that you went to there with the blasters?
De bonnes affaires qui me permettent dans tout bon équipement.
I was observing all the equipment they were placing in the holes.
Okay. And then?
Après ça,
Assister jusqu'à les autres fini.
I assisted them until they finished,
Parce que les navires pour blast.
until it was time for them to do the blasting.
And then just let him continue. Tell us the whole procedure.
Et continue à dire nous après ça, continue à dire nous bonne procédure.
Après ça, l'état fini blast ça qui reste, tourner avec faire même procédure, compter, mettre dedans en place.
And after the blasting had completed, they took everything that's left, go back to the container and do the same procedures as they did prior. That is to count and then put everything back inside.
Did you ever handle any of the explosives?
Est-ce qu'on déjà chambo soit servi aucun sabon explosif?
Jambo non.
No, I haven't.
You
handled
never
them.
touched them?
Vous pas déjà touché?
Donc pendant c'est son moment qu'il pour.
I haven't touched them, but I looked at it closely.
Closely. You never carried any boxes or did anything?
Non.
Have you received any training in handling and using explosives?
Non.
Do you have any training on blasting?
Non.
And you don't recall the names of the people you were working with?
No.
Okay. And how many times did you go to CCCL?
Avant ça.
Are you talking about before?
Just generally, are there so
général.
many that you can't remember, or it was just a few times or many times?
Est-ce qu'on a là-bas une quantité de fois qu'on peut pas imaginer exactement quelle quantité
Non,
ou soit
les
les
trois
trois
fois,
fois?
cause tout le temps, ils changent du monde, n'importe qui dit monde qui allait.
I went a few times because they were changing officers every now and then.
Was there any other officer that accompanied you from Potru or military?
Non.
Never?
Only me.
Never? So out of the 4 containers that were there, you said 2, you only opened 2.
Yes.
What about the other 2?
Don't know.
Sorry?
I don't know about that too.
You don't know about the other 2. You had no information, knowledge,
No.
anything about the other 2. We were told one of the other containers belonged to the military.
Don't know.
You don't know?
No.
Did you ever see at any time any of the military officers coming to open
No.
the container?
No.
Never?
No.
You never got keys from them
No.
to open the container? Okay. And was there any concerns you had at any time that you went to the premises? Was there anything that that you observed that raised concern?
Est-ce qu'il est arrivé aucun moment le temps côté n'a aucun quelque chose qui ne vient dans l'attention qui on observé qui tient concerne pour?
Pas vraiment.
Not really.
Okay. What about the fence? How did you enter to the? You said there was a fence around.
Yeah.
How did you enter that fence?
Maintenant,
Was there some sort of gate? Or was it an open fence?
il y a deux gates. But il y a deux gates avant de un container.
You have to enter through 2 gates before you reach the container.
Okay, and the gates are open,
Saban ba wo
Tout
ouvert,
à fait.
they were locked.
Look.
and the fence is just a regular fence. What type of fence is it?
Mais on a dit ça. Pas ban fil, ban fence vert là.
They
Ah,
look
il
like
pas
the
de-
green fences.
Oh,
green
the
fence?
metal fence.
Yeah.
A metal fence. Okay, and how high were those fences?
Ki hauteur zo était?
Donc peut-être il tombe pas là au container.
When you would look at it, it would be above the container.
The
It would
fence
go
wa-
up to a height above the containers.
Okay, and you said there was 2 gates.
And sino de ba wo yes?
2 gates on the same container, or two fences and 2 gates? 2 gates on the fence.
Tout est dans la fence là.
So which gate did you enter from? I'm assuming you're saying a gate on the left and a gate on the right. There were 2 gates like that next to each other.
Only 2 gates.
Yeah, but where were those gates in the fence?
Kote
The
sa
front.
ba wo avec sa
The
fence
front.
yote.
Front, yeah.
Both 2 gates in the front of the
yes.
containers. And you said those gates were locked. Both gates were locked.
But you are locked, yes.
At the time that you went, the few times you went, you said they were locked.
Yeah.
Okay. And how were they locked? With what?
Padlock.
A padlock? What type of padlock?
Qualité card na.
A round padlock, square, rectangle? Color?
Donc au cardinal zone, au cardinal zone.
It was a big yellow padlock.
Okay. And so when you arrived there, who opened that padlock?
Le temps ti arrive lan bale ke ki nou ver sa cadenas.
Ça dit mon quand ça me quoi que dit ça cardinal.
I think it was the
Did you
person
put
who was in charge who was the one who unlocked the padlock.
Did you see him yourself do that?
Yes.
The same gentleman that opened the container?
Yeah, yeah.
The gentleman that you described as a Mauritian?
Mauritius, yeah.
Mauritian? Okay. And to your knowledge, he was in charge of the containers?
Mon quoi? Pose le qui ouvert.
I think so because he was the
No,
one
no, no
opening
way.
it all the
And
time.
he was the one you were watching and supervising in what he was doing? Okay. Let's turn to the closer to the explosion. When was the last date you attended to supervise the blasting?
Ki denye data eski ou ti ale pou supervise ban posedi avant pou ti lamina.
Pardon?
Ki
Sa
denye
denye
dat
jou?
denye zou ki ou ti a fè sa travay avant l'explosion.
Till le 5.
It was on
The
the
Farad.
5th.
The 5th of December 2023. And what did you feel were your duties when you went to the site? What did you feel was your responsibility was as you were going there?
Ki ou senti ti ou responsabilité pou ou fè le tan ti al là-bas.
Non, mais normalement, là-bas, nous faisons ce qui tout que ce ok.
Normally when we go there we have to ensure that everything is okay.
And what do you mean by okay?
Ki ou pe se di pa okay.
Qui tout que ce petit taquet, le temps nous venir, il était si tout d'observer si tout que chose, il lock bien normal avant de nous lock.
We had to ensure that everything were locked, everywhere was locked before we go with the procedure to unlock everything.
So the last day you attended was the 5th of December.
Yes.
Could you give us a rundown on that day? What happened? Was there anything different from what you've said before?
Explique-nous qui on fait ça zo et qui n'arrive ça zo. Est-ce qu'il y a quelque chose qui est différent avec ban les temps auparavant les temps on allait pas travailler?
Quelque chose de pareil.
Everything was the same.
Okay, and who did you deal with on that day? The same two gentlemen that you said you dealt with before?
Yes.
One was Seychellois and one was Mauritian? Okay, and you went there at what time on the 5th?
Ben 9h à 10h comment?
Bon matin.
On arrive là-bas bon matin.
It was around 9 to 10 in the morning.
Yes, and then?
Normalement, on fini faire blasting dernier les 3h au marché.
Normally, the last hour where the blasting would be finished would be at 3 p.m. and he would collect everything and put it back.
Normally, but we're talking about the 5th. Let's talk about the 5th, specifically what happened on that day.
Nous peut cause spécifiquement dans les 5 qui arrive ça qui veut dire qu'il a commencé qu'il a tu fini.
Par exemple, nous commençons dans 9h, le temps on a l'osan fait bonne procédure, nous les fini 3h.
Like I have stated, we started at 9 in the morning. We went on site and did all the procedures, and we completed everything by 3 p.m.
Yes. And so at 3 p.m., what happened? Did you take some explosives back into the container?
Yes.
Okay. And do you know what was put in the container and where? Do you remember?
J'imagine pas ça ban qui tire c'est l'endroit qui sorti pour retourner dans même l'endroit.
The things that was left, the explosive that was left, they took them back and placed them exactly where they took it from in the beginning.
Okay. And does he know the quantities?
Vous connaissez la quantité qui restait?
Non, pas pourquoi.
No, I wouldn't know.
Did you record them down?
Ou tu recordé?
Non, non.
No.
Did they not record?
Normalement, les autres qui recordent les autres affaires.
Normally, the other ones who recorded everything.
Okay, but did you not keep a record of what they were taking out and putting back in?
No.
Was that not one of your duties?
No. Pas jamais.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you know, what were you supervising? For instance, if they took 50 detonators and explosives out and went up into the blasting site, how did you know what they were using and what was being returned?
Normalement, moi, je ne vais pas aucun record. Les autres qui les prennent, si les autres prennent 10, les autres services 5, les autres tournent du monde, les autres tournent 5. That's it.
Normally, I would not be the one who would take down these records. It is them who always record everything. For example, if they have taken out 10 and they have used 5, when they finish, they would come and tell me we have used 5 and we are returning with 5.
So how do you know for sure that they were putting back in the container what they took out?
Comment est pour assurer qu'ils ont retourné avec la quantité qu'ils ont dit, ils ont retourné avec les containers?
Non, mais normalement, les autres peuvent tirer dans la boîte.
Normally, when they are removing them from the boxes, you are looking at them.
So, for instance, they took out 50. When you went up into the quarry site, blasting site, how did you know exactly what was being used, what was left over, and whether those were not being hidden somewhere and not being brought back to the container?
Okay. Il peut demander, monsieur, par exemple, disons, vous avez monté les côtes quarry avec 50, ça va l'équipement pour vous servir pour tirer la mine. Et les temps où fini, commence à mettre tout quelque chose pareil pour vous tirer la mine. Qui m'a alors pour connaître qui quantité ça va explosif qui gagne servi, qui quantité ça va explosif qui restait, et qui m'a pour connaître s'il n'a pas un ça va explosif qui gagne cassiette ou soit qui gagne mettre à côté pour servir après.
Non, bien cause. Alors, normalement, je dis, c'est comme ça. Souvent, ne peut pas aucun record.
Normally, this is what they would tell you, but we ourselves do not take any records.
So we don't really know for certain exactly what what was actually being taken out and used and put back. We don't know for sure. We have to rely on what the blaster is saying. Is that what you're telling us?
Normalement, comme ça, normalement, là, ça hauteur qu'ils ont monté là-bas, nous pas là-bas, non.
Normally, this is how it is because where they go to do the blasting, where they climb up the mountain, we do not usually go there.
So you never went up into? So you didn't escort the blaster up to witness what he's doing?
Ou pas escort, ça dit moun qui peut aller dans minan l'air pour regarder qui peut faire?
Non, bien, by that time, les autres montent le machine, nous
Sometimes when they are going up there, climbing up there, they will climb on those machinery, and we cannot do that.
So every time he went, so even on the 5th of December, the last time you went there, you did not go up with them?
And then, si l'on doit pas trop haut, nous arrivons there.
Sometimes we would go, especially if the places that they are going are not too high.
No, we're talking about the 5th of December. Let's restrict ourselves to the 5th, because that's the last time the blasting happened,
Yes.
before the explosion. And you were the last officer
Yeah.
that was known to be there on the 5th of December for the blasting. So we really want to focus on what happened at the last time they were doing blasting. Was there any mistakes? Did they leave some of the explosives somewhere else? Were they left around for somebody to access later? We're trying to establish. That's why I'm asking you all the questions, just so for us to understand what could have happened.
Normalement, nous faisons pareil. Le temps fini, blasting, nous masse tout quelque chose. Ça qui pour compter, nous compter dans marché. C'est tout.
We did things as we normally do. Once they had completed their work, they picked up and collected everything, and we packed up and we left.
But he doesn't. You don't know for sure whether they picked up and brought everything back, because you didn't really know You said you didn't know the explosives. You weren't counting. You were just relying on what they were telling you. Correct. So they could have left a whole box of explosives in the mountain somewhere, and they collect it later. We don't know, right?
We wouldn't know.
So what do you know, or what do you believe happened that caused the explosion?
Quoi qu'il y a arrivé qui a causé l'explosion? I do not know.
Do you know what explosives they were using?
Ou tu connais quelle qualité explosive ça tu peux servir?
Sorry?
They mentioned a few names, but I cannot recall right now.
So on the 5th of December, after you completed the blasting, you went back to the office?
Yes.
Did you make any report? Was it usual for you to make a report on what you did for the day?
Non, maman, il y a un forme papier qui me tourne avec.
Normally, there is a form that I have to return with.
Okay, and what form is that?
Quelle qualité forme ça?
Un forme pour squad, le temps bon les bon squad, le temps mon commencé, le mon commencé, le temps mon fini.
It is a form whereby I record the time I started the escort and when I ended.
Okay. And after the explosion, were you contacted by any police officer or any official to ask you what happened?
Après l'explosion, est-ce que vous avez contacté avec aucun officier pour demander qui est arrivé?
Statement.
I went to do a statement at the CID office.
Okay. And what statement, you gave the statement?
Yeah.
And were you given any instruction on what to say in your statement, or you said your own statement?
It's my own statement.
Okay.
My own.
Okay. Do you have a copy of your statement?
One copy statement?
Okay. No. But we can get a copy of your statement, right? I believe we do have a copy of your statement. In your assessment, do you feel that the police provided meaningful oversight over the explosive CCCL?
Est-ce qu'il y a un propre regard pour un propre travail pour les temps de regarder tout ça là? Est-ce que vous sentez et vous voyez que la police il donne ça l'attention appropriée en ce qui concerne tout quelque chose qu'on a pour faire un explosif côté CCL?
Oui.
I believe so, yes.
In what way?
De quelle façon?
Because
they were the ones who were in charge of everything.
Okay, and so what do you know about what happened on the night of the explosion? Or is there anything you know?
Est-ce qu'il y a quelque chose que vous connaissez pendant la nuit, le temps de l'explosion est arrivé?
No.
No.
No? And were you on duty that night, of the 6th and 7th?
Est-ce que tu peux travailler ça ce soir les 6 par le 7?
Yeah.
Yes.
Not duty.
I was on duty.
Yes. And are you able to tell us what happened?
Vous capable de dire avec nous qui est arrivé?
Do you remember the events of what happened on that night you were on duty?
Duty.
I was not on duty in relation to CCCL.
Okay. So he was not deployed to Providence area at any time?
No.
Okay.
Monsieur Louis, bonjour.
Bonjour, sir.
On dit on a 18 ans à Potrou, non?
You have stated
yeah.
that you have worked for 18 years at Potru, yes?
Quelle année tu commences à escorter explosif?
Which year did you start to escort the explosive?
Pas pour qu'on ait, souvent, normalement, le temps pas d'escorte. Le temps où la loca, il y a un spécial duty conseil en voyou, souvent pas tout le temps. Différent du monde qui allait.
I cannot recall exactly how many times, but normally when you are there at the camp, if there's an officer there and there's an escort duty to be done, you just get called and you go and escort them.
Il est capable de 3 ans, 4 ans, comme ça?
Could it be 3 to 4
Oui,
years?
oui.
Yes.
Du calé temps où quand même où là, il y a l'autre du monde qui allait tout le temps il change du monde.
It can also be that even if you are there, someone else who is there can also be selected to go.
Connais-moi ou?
Do you
Te
know
connais,
me?
oui.
Yes, I
Rappelle-moi
do.
de Potrou.
Bon,
Do
avec
you
nous, oui.
remember me at Potru? Yes, I do.
Qui m'a tu fait là-bas?
What did I do over there?
Tu tiens ça?
You were the one in charge.
Est-ce qu'il n'y a pas de uniforme là-bas qui te donne l'épaule? Côté explosif, record, ban item qui tiré.
Was there not a form over
Since
there to record everything when the items are being taken at the site?
On fait que dit à la bougie n'est pas qui donne pour nous tourner avec le cas.
I said
The
earlier that there was a paper that was given for us to go with and then to return back with it at the camp.
Ou tu recordes quelque chose là papier?
Did you
No,
record
no,
anything
record
on
na
the
yellow là,
paper? No, I did not record anything on the paper.
Ça blast que record tout son affaire.
It was the blaster who recorded everything.
C'est pas correct ça.
That is not correct.
À papier, sa forme,
The paper, the form,
ou supposé record, ban quelque chose qui tiré,
you were supposed to record everything that was taken out.
cortex, ignite, détonateur.
The cortex, the ignite, the detonators,
Après, ban qui restait, ou recorder,
and everything that was left over, you had to record them.
ou retourner avec sa forme pour trou,
And you return with the form back at the Potru office,
et mettre dans un file.
and this is placed in a file.
Ce moment zone comme ça on va connaître.
Yes, but this is how I saw it when I joined there.
Seulement, ou tu prends la forme.
But you did take one of those forms.
Blaster qui prend.
It was the blaster who took the form.
Si on demande à qu'on écrit, ou?
Excuse me to ask you this, but you know how to write? Yes, I do. Monsieur, étendez-moi une question. Laissez-moi transmettre sa question avant de répondre.
Vous connaissez ça, captures, détonateur?
You know what is capsules and detonators?
On peut Thomasine.
I cannot recall.
Pas ou suppose you don't have blaster, ça on demand, ça y reste avec vous.
Why you're not supposed to be the one who would give this to the blaster on demand, and this is supposed to be kept with you?
On pas connaître qui m'a appelé, so y en a qui resté qui donne.
I do not know what they are called, but there were those that remain with you and kept with you.
Détaillé, si mon correct, si mon pas trompé, ou dit tu donnes tout quelque chose.
If I'm not mistaken, earlier you stated that you gave them everything.
Non, mais l'état non fin à cause ça l'état donne autres. Il s'est fini.
No, because once
Après,
you
ça,
give
c'est
this to
une
them, this is over. Allez, continuer.
Après si reste retourne avec.
And if
there's
there's leftovers, you have
si
to
ça finit
return.
aussi quoi ça reste quoi ou
You
dans
have to
autres pas
return with
te
it.
demande.
And I don't know if it's called the fuse or whatever it is, but this is what is left.
On va pas dire ça, on va dire dans l'eau ça blaster puis ça va nous ça détonner cap fuse avec vous. Si n'a pas ça, il pas capable de tirer.
I'm talking about the when you are on site, the detonators when they are with the blaster. If they are not with you, the blasters will not be able to do anything.
Yeah.
Correct, sir.
Yeah.
On fait dit comme ça.
We did not do it like this though.
Non, on fait comme ça parce que l'état sont fini faire du bon affaire plus du bon tout. Après je pour demander moi il m'occupe dans autres.
This is how they did it, because normally if what they had on them had finished, they would ask me and I would be the one who would give that one to them.
Oui, marque une version.
Do you realize that you have changed your version just now?
Comment ou dernier dimanche qui t'est entré tu retournes avec un item avant l'explosion le 7 décembre.
Being the last person who was on duty on the 5th before the explosion on the 7th December.
Tu as un item qui t'est resté retourner avec le conteneur.
Were there items that were left that was returned to the containers? Yes, there were.
Qui qualité item?
What types of items?
Ni bon item, on peut pas recall son nom.
I cannot recall their names.
Ou pas connaît à cause ou pas recorder.
You do not know because you did not record them.
Côté où tu mets ça un item que tu retournes avec.
Where did you place those items, monsieur? Attends. Where did you place those items that you returned with to the containers?
Bon item quand nous tourne avec les mêmes l'endroit avant que tu restes.
We took the items and returned with them back to where we had taken them prior.
Pour la dernière fois, qui manière tu vois sa storage dans container prior to the explosion?
For the last time, how did you see the storage and how it was inside the container before the explosion?
Storage
The storage were kept, as I have explained, whereby they placed everything on shelves.
Ou pas quoi, il y en a une négligence l'eau la part pour mishandle l'explosive. Pas de container. L'eau side could blasting là-bas.
Don't you believe that there could have been negligence on your side where you have mishandled the explosions, not at the containers, but at the site where the blasting were being done? I did it as I was supposed to do. Is this how they taught you how to do it? No answer? It's because every time we went to do the escort work, this is how we did it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Monsieur Louis, on a des trois questions pour vous.
Mr. Luis, I have a few questions for you.
Léo dit containers qui dans un fence ou soit des fences.
When you
Après-
stated that the containers were in a fence or two fence,
Okay. Après tu as un gate avec chaque fence.
and then there were gates with each of those fences.
Tu as des fences avec des gates.
There were two fences and two gates.
Est-ce que tu as un fence avec son gate après par en il y a l'autre fence avec son gate comme ça pour dire non?
Comme ça, oui.
Were there a fence surrounding the gate and then inside another fence surrounding the gate? Is this how you are trying to tell us? Yes.
Là on dit tu as une caméra le fence. Est-ce que ça bonne caméra tu as fixé le fence pour voir le container? Ça
When-
peut dire non?
When
Ou
you
soit-
said that you saw that there were cameras on top of the
And
fence, are you saying that the cameras were facing inside the fence on the containers?
est-ce que tu as fixé le fence pour voir le container?
Il besoin, cause il y en a de quatre coins.
It could have been because they were on all four corners.
Okay. Combien de caméras que tu as?
How many
Huh?
cameras were there?
Pas de tout, machine.
I cannot remember.
Tu peux fonctionner ça bonne caméra?
Were these
Not sure.
cameras working?
Besoin.
I think so.
Là où nous ben dit mon ça dit mon Cccl qui tu peux faire ben entries lo sa papier ou pas checker lo sa papier ou.
You told us that it was the person working at Cccl who was making all the entry on the paper. You were not the person writing on the paper. Is that correct?
Ou pas
Yes.
fazer countersign non lo sa papier?
You did not have to sign anything along with another signature on the paper?
Le papier. Pas de Paris, voilà.
I cannot recall.
It's okay. Là où peut dire non ben dit mon qui tient under de sa container c'était blaster après ça dit mon qui tient ça sa container.
You
The
told
ban-
us that the people who went inside the container were the blaster and the person in charge of the container.
De ben l'état coup tu peux faire ça ben supervision là-bas.
During the times we're going to do the supervision work,
À peu près combien blast qui on interacté avec?
how many
Tout
blasters?
le temps qu'on a là-bas côté CCCL.
For all these years you have been working with CCCL and going there, how many blasters have you been interacting with?
Il y a des toits, je sont vraiment imaginer.
There were a few of
recall.
them, but I cannot recall their names.
C'est loi?
Si
Were
on-
they Seychellois? Yes.
Qu'on autres bien?
Do you know
Non,
them
pas
well?
tout, imagine
No, I
ça.
do not.
Après, il y a des trois l'instance quand on dit non, ou tu as allé pour assister. Ou tu as assisté ou tu as observé qu'ils ont fait là-bas.
In certain instances, you told us that you went to assist, and then you said you observed. Did you go to assist or to just observe what was happening there?
Normalement, observer. Observer.
OK.
Normally, we had to observe.
OK. Disons dans la journée de travail, les on peut demander pour aller faire sa bonne observation côté CCCL. Ou dit on arrive là-bas de 9h ou soit 10h. Quelquefois on quitte là-bas de 3h. Donc tout ça est en between ça 9h au matin jusqu'à 3h. Côté les autres et les autres. Les autres pas aucun break, et n'a aucun temps côté ou quitte ça bandi monde blaster ou soit ça dit monde qui peut venir ouvrir sa container, il n'a à aucun moment coupe papier ou autres dit tout.
Non,
Okay.
non, là, tout le temps, jusqu'à
Et
fini.
puis là on entre
We are
Est-ce
là.
qu'il finit?
wait, I have to translate the question. Normally, like on a day-to-day basis where you go to work, like you have stated, you start normally at 9 or 10 and you will go up until 3 p.m. and your work was to do the observation. So throughout your day of work over there, where were you based exactly, and did you take breaks, and were there times that you left the blasters unattended? Were there times that there were other people who open or the person who usually has the key to open the containers was here around? So what is it normally that you would do?
Tout observer. Comme la full time, c'est ce qu'elle est fini.
I was always there full time until the work was completed.
Ça veut dire que nous n'a pas aucun temps côté ou papier wa sabanji moun.
Non.
So you are telling us there was no point of time that you were not viewing or seeing
Besoin
where
là
these people were.
besoin là jusqu'à fini.
I was there until it was finished.
N'a pas aucun moment qui un autre autres besoin somewhere pour servir une facilité of some sort.
Was there any point of time that any one of you needed to use the facilities just to take a small break for use of any facilities just to leave for a few minutes? No.
So vous pas pas boire ni de l'eau ni à manger, soit dormir avec vous.
Therefore, you are not going to have lunch or go and have some water either.
Non, mais normalement, tout nous de l'eau,
Normally, we carry everything with us, including our lunch and water.
Quand elle est en dit nous normalement hôtel qui blaster monter, mon parle là-bas.
Earlier, you stated that the height where the blasters would climb, you don't usually go there.
Est-ce que blaster est dans vos vicinité ou ali?
Would the blasters be in your vicinity, meaning that are you able to see them where they are?
Dans ali, souvent quand vous montez la tower solaire, nous pas.
Yes, I can see him, but where they climb up on the boulders and everything, we cannot go.
Disons par exemple, où tu montes l'excavateur pour y arriver à certain endroit où pas arriver.
Like for example, you have mentioned that they would climb on the excavator for them to reach certain places whereby you cannot reach.
On a clear line of vision qui peut faire là-bas ou aller bien. Tu vois quelque chose qui peut
You
faire
will
soit
have
aller peut
a clear line of vision to see exactly and perfectly well what he is doing.
Non, il y a plus loin. Souvent, les gens ils prennent combien d'affaires du qui quantité qui peut l'emmèner là-bas.
No, it is a bit far, but when they are taking their materials, they will tell you the quantity they are taking and when they are going to place it there.
So peut-être disons un blaster il peut monter l'endroit ou pas pour capable accès à l'endroit.
For example, if a blaster is climbing some place where you cannot have access to that place,
quelle distance?
What would be the distance in meters?
Capable aller from où côté où pas arriver.
What would be the distance in meters where they would be from where you are, where you cannot reach?
Un peu distance, tout le monde peut imaginer. Il
It's
faut
quite-
qu'on va des bas, faut tout le temps là-bas,
It's quite far because we are further down and they are very high up on the hill.
So ou pour aller dans loin.
Therefore, you see them from afar.
Et
Yes.
so pas pour capable dire accurately quoi qu'il peut faire.
But you cannot say accurately what they are doing.
Ça papier qui blaster y en a avec lui.
The paper that the blaster had,
Qui ou besoin de retourner avec le camp potro.
that you had to go back with it to the camp at Potru.
Ou actually li.
Do you read the
Avant les
paper?
retour. Ou soit pas de haban l'état pas idon pour égaler quelque chose là.
Does he
No,
give
no.
you the paper for you to check and verify anything on it?
Mais pas vraiment.
Not really.
So lesquels qui prend sa papier côté potro.
Who is the person who takes the paper from
Je
Potru?
qui pas.
They are the
Blaster qui
ones who
pas.
take it.
Blaster ou soit
The
ou?
blaster.
Blaster qui pas.
The blaster is the
qui
one
prend.
who takes it.
Sa papier il informe.
Oui, pas une forme.
Par il
Yes,
informe.
it's
Qui
like
te fait
a form.
autant pli tout bon qui soit.
Lesquels qui
And
remplit sa
Who
forme.
are the
Blaster
ones
qui
who,
remplit.
Monsieur?
Ah, sorry.
Who are the people who fills in the form? Lesquels qui remplissent sa forme?
Blaster.
The blaster.
Côté qui remplit sa forme, le site CCL ou soit depuis le camp potro.
Where is the form filled up? Is it
Yeah,
at the
please.
site at CCL or is it at Potru?
D'après le side.
At the site.
Les ou peut faire sa duty observation là-bas côté CCL.
When you go to do the observation work at the CCL,
Ou kon son bon matin même là ou peut entrer le duty.
do you know that you are going to do the work when you go in the morning for your duty?
Normalement, pas connaît.
Normally, you wouldn't know.
Lesquels qui peut donner nous l'instruction pour aller faire Lequel qui donne nous halod pour faire ça duty là-bas côté
Ça-
Who
duty
would
officer.
give you the command for you to go and do this duty?
Duty officer.
duty officer. Lequel qui donne nous la clé?
Who is the person who gives you the key?
Qui t'a écouté à moi à cause de la clé qui d'a moi.
The
Lequel qui
key
donne
is
nous
stored at the
physiquement?
armory.
Ou c'est ou même ou soit
Pardon?
vous donner à la
Do
clé?
you go and take it yourself or someone hands over the key to you?
Ou c'est au même à cause de dire qu'on t'a moi là-bas qui vous donne.
I have to go myself because there's somebody there at the armory that will give you the key.
Combien la clé y en a?
How many keys were there?
Non. 4 la clé.
Ou gagne 4
4
la clé?
keys.
4
So
la
you
clé.
get 4
À
keys.
cause de le sa conteneur y en a des 4 là.
We get 4 keys because on each of the containers there are 2 padlocks.
C'est pas deux. 4. On c'est 4 c'est des quelque chose comme. Pourquoi 2
À cause je
Pourquoi
vais
tu
demander
penses
si on a
to-
d'appliquer
okay.
pour sac.
Because I was going to
Cardinal.
ask you if there was a
Pourquoi-
duplication for each of them.
Non mon quoi. De la clé mon quoi.
I think
This-
it was,
this-
there were 2 keys.
Un pour un container,
Un point l'autre.
One for a
And for
container
l'autre.
and one for the other.
Parce que ça dit mon équipe ça dit aussi dans N ça
And the
gagne.
person who was in charge also had 2 of those keys.
ok. Ça de la clé là, on parle pour Cccl là. Il pouvait un container qui contenait quoi là-dedans? Après on dit moi de ça l'autre la clé pour un container qui pour contenir quoi?
Okay, for the 2 keys, for the 2 containers, when you arrive at the CCCL at the containers, tell us which key opens the one container and what's inside the container and then the other.
Le premier conteneur ben ça fait exploser sur mon papier quoi ça ben non.
In the first container, there are the explosives, but I cannot recall their names.
Ça un deuxième.
In the
They're
second
separate.
one,
Je sais
the
pas.
same thing.
Ça veut dire pas pour connaître côté detonateur y était, côté cortex y était, côté Cccl y était.
Therefore, you would not know where the detonators are, where the cortex are, and where the powder is.
On vous connaît mon on va pour dire ça
Assault is-
non.
Pas mal son.
Ça.
I would know, but I cannot recall their names.
Ok. Qui transport vous servi pour sortir côte Port par Cccl?
What
transport
vehicles
company.
do you use for you to leave Potro office, for you to go at CCCL?
Le transport compagnie même.
It was the company vehicle.
Là où dit compagnon, ça veut dire transport
Compagnon
Cccl.
CCL.
You mean
il
the
vient à Massou.
vehicle for CCCL?
Yeah.
They'll come and pick you up? Yes.
Les transports y entrent côté Cccl, côté débarque.
When the vehicle enters in the to go to CCCL, where do you get off from the vehicle?
Anda. Ko pocho.
At Potro.
Non, non, côté Cccl.
We're
Ou qu'elle
talking
fait
about
ou duty
CCL.
pour la journée là.
You are going to do your
L'en
duty for the day.
Na ko so
Oui.
de nous côte conteneur était.
I
Directement
get
for
off the
container.
vehicle where the container is, directly where the containers are.
Les wa il faut de container, lesquels qui là. Ou soit bizarre, est-ce qu'il ben dit mon Cccl qui peut nous ouvrir sa container, il bizarre gain crier.
When you arrive at the containers, who are the people that are there, or the people from CCCL have to be called for them to come?
De parfois. Parfois bizarre cause aux soit autres là. Ils me déjà arrivé.
Sometimes you have to go and call them and look for them, but sometimes they are already there.
Ou dit dernière fois, avant l'explosion, pour tu as fait blasting observation, c'est le 5 décembre 2023.
You have stated that the last time when you did the work and you went for supervision viewing the blasting work, it was on the 5th of December 2023.
Donc, connaissance pour, est-ce qu'il peut tu envoyer 15 officiers, côté Cccl, pour faire ça même, sa duty, entre les 5 et les 7 décembre 2023?
According to your own personal knowledge, would you know if Potro sent any officers for them to do the same duties on the 5th and the 6th of December 2023?
On peut pas imaginer à cause dernier Timon pas qu'on a pris ici encore.
I cannot recall because the last person was me.
Merci, c'est tout mon question.
Thank you.
Mr. Louise, just a few more questions. Just to clarify on the fences and the gates, was there one fence or two fences?
Lina.
Monsieur, juste pour clarifier le saban barreau avec saban fence, est-ce qu'il y en a un ou bien deux?
Il y a 17 fences tout l'entour, après il y en a deux barreaux devant.
There was only one fence all around and then two gates.
And another officer that worked for Potru, she came and told this commission that she used to accompany the blaster right to the blasting spot, and she would see where the explosives are being used. You have told us that you didn't go to the blasting spot, and you only gave them, they took the explosives, and while you remained below. So does that mean that we do not know on the 5th of December whether the explosives they took out of the container were actually used at the blasting spot?
Ok, monsieur, et les officiers qui sortent côte Potro, ils fait comprendre auparavant qu'il est temps d'aller pour lui faire son bon ouvrage, il y a côte l'endroit côte Salamine supposé gain tirer, il fait tout bon procédure inclus côte y a les côte Salamine bien gain tirer qui veut dire il pouvoir tout bon explosif qui peut gain service quand les autres fini. Et ou d'après ça qui on dit nous aujourd'hui, c'est qu'il est temps on aller pour faire le travail, on allait jusqu'à pas arriver côte Sabana dit mon qui tire en mine, il aller pour faire l'ouvrage, on restait en bas et les autres ils montent en l'air qui veut dire qui plus difficile pour capable dire non et aussi nous pour dire non qui le 5 décembre les temps aller pour faire ça l'ouvrage là-bas côté ça était tu peux faire ça travail supposé peut faire ou pas pour connaître à cause distance qui on était avec côté ça dit mon était en miniété ou pas pour connaître qui quantité exactement ça ban explosif gain servi et quantité vraiment qui restait pour retourner avec à cause ou pas là-bas par les officiers li auparavant il directement côté ça ban dit mon petit en mine.
Non, pas Raymond dit, il y a une loi qui montre qu'il ne peut pas arriver.
Like I had stated earlier, there were places that they would go that I cannot go.
So we do not know if the blaster used all the explosives that he took out of the container on that day at the blasting site.
Ça veut dire nous pas pour connaître si ça dit mon qui n'allait pour tirer mine ça jour le 5 décembre nous pas pour connaître si il servi tout ça ban explosif les temps il arrive là-bas et si vraiment la quantité qui retourne avec sans même sa quantité.
À cause ça là doit être tu peux tirer les 25 tu en l'appelé tu en de l'eau partout il fallait côté dans les pieds en bas.
On the 5th, when the work was being done, there was a lot of rain and it was flooded and muddy everywhere. And where that blaster went was a little bit further down.
I'm not sure if you've answered my question. My statement wasn't quite a question. I suppose it is a question. My question was, we do not know for sure whether the blaster used all the explosives he took out of the container on the 5th of December 2023, on the day when you were there when he was blasting. We don't know whether all the explosives that were taken out were used by the blaster at the site.
Monsieur, quand on va permettre devant, on peut dire avec vous, qui nous pas pour connaître vraiment si le 5 décembre 2023, les temps aller pour faire ce travail on là-bas nous pas pour connaître vraiment qui quantité l'explosif gain servi et si tout ça ban l'explosif gain servi à cause ou pas là-bas côté ça tu peux gain faire.
Non ben à cause la quantité qui peut laver qui peut dire quantité qui peut laver.
The quantity that was being carried and used by the blaster, he was telling us how many there were.
And how many were they?
Et qui quantité qui tient là?
Dans quantité papa il vient que bâtiment à terre mon moniteur mon peut guetter si dit moi il peut prendre 10 pieds à laver on faire si pour prendre 10 pieds à laver qu'il était fini si il allait comme ça.
Whenever he's going to, when he would be going to do the blasting work, everything is there in a box, so he would come and remove what he will need from the box. So for example, if he needs 10, he would tell me, okay, I'm taking out 10 and I'm going to use the 10, and then he just carry out and take the 10 and go.
So is there any way of you knowing that on the 5th of December 2023, he used those 10, for instance, that he took? Because you didn't accompany him up to where he was blasting.
Est-ce qu'il n'y a aucune façon que pour connaître que si vraiment les 5 décembre par exemple on dit 10, une service 10, est-ce qu'il n'y a aucune façon que nous pour connaître vraiment si vraiment une service à 10, le temps il prend pour lui faire son travail par l'effet qu'on dit ou pendant aller contre l'utilité pour lui faire sa l'ouvrage?
Yeah, because in recorded, you want in service in prend 10.
He recorded everything. He said that he was using 10, so
we trust that he used the 10.
Ça veut dire ou peut quoi dans les qui service à 10. Yes.
You see, you are the last officer that we know was on the site on the 5th of December 2023 that was supervising. So it's important for us to know what happened on that day when the last blasting was taking place. Was there an opportunity for someone to take out explosives? Was the container left open? Was the gate not locked? It's important that you tell us those facts. Because someone that came before you also told us that the gate didn't have locks. You could just push the fence open. There was no locks on that gate.
Alors, monsieur, il peut dire avec vous qui est vraiment important pour nous comprendre qu'il n'arrive ça à cause ou qui des officiers qui peut travailler avec ça la compagnie ça et peut dire ou ça à cause on a l'opportunité n'importe qui dit monde incapable d'avoir l'opportunité et dit on est capable venir et même il y a des monde qui dit comme quoi qu'il y a l'instance qui ça ba au patitaké qui fait que n'importe qui dit on est capable venir pour entrer mais ça qui peut mettre devant ou qui parle fait que tu peux travailler ça le 5 décembre 2023 il est important pour nous connaître quoi que vraiment arrivé ça à cause tout ça bonne l'information tout ça bon détail et pour ça d'après ces officiers qui n'a dernier jour pour faire ça l'ouvrage.
Mais pareillement dit tout ça qu'il faut c'est qui m'ont fait et dans le tourner avec toutes les choses qui taqué bien normal fini.
Like I have explained, all the procedures were done as I did, and once the work was completed, everything was returned back to where they were and locked up.
So, just to repeat, you are sure that when you arrived there, the gates were locked?
Yeah.
And when you left, the gates were locked?
Locked.
So, and the doors, the container doors were locked?
All locked.
Which doors, which container, what container doors were locked? The left or the right? Because there were 4 containers, you said.
Yeah.
So which containers were you dealing with?
The right.
The containers on the right,
The right.
the 2 containers on the right.
The containers on the right, yeah.
So it was those containers on the right, the doors that were locked?
Yeah.
Okay. I think that we have no further questions for you, Mr. Luis. We thank you for coming and taking your time. We appreciate it.
Good, thank you.
Thank you very much. You're free to leave.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So that concludes our session for this morning. We will recommence at 2:15 this afternoon for our next witness. Thank you.
Colonel, si la plupart des départs de feu sont causés par l'humain de façon volontaire ou involontaire avec plus ou moins de sens commun, on l'a dit, les feux sont favorisés aujourd'hui, alimentés par l'état de la terre, la météo et donc par le dérèglement climatique. Est-ce que vous pouvez nous expliquer comment tout ça s'opère?
Alors déjà, il faut savoir que le continent européen est une des zones sur Terre qui se réchauffe le plus vite.
2 fois plus vite que le reste.
2 fois plus vite que le reste du monde. Donc en fait, si vous voulez, on est déjà soumis, nous, pays européens, à des conditions que l'on a aussi créées de par nos émissions de gaz à effet de serre, d'une part, mais surtout, on a une répétition d'épisodes anticycloniques, donc ces zones de haute pression qui reviennent régulièrement. Ces zones de haute pression, elles sont alimentées en plus par un air chaud qui